Hello, everyone. We're back with another episode of our Yarn S.M.A.R.T with another special guest. So, if you want to introduce yourself, maybe tell us who you are, where you're from, and what you currently do.
Yeah, Yuridu everyone. So my name's Leticia and I am a proud Wiradjuri woman. I'm 24 years old and I currently work within my own business, Leticia and Designs. I do branding and graphic design for Aboriginal small businesses and also a lot of community development organisations. And I also do a lot of work on the ground with young people and advocating for change for children and young people in out-of-home care.
Cool. Nice. So the first question is, how did you get to where you are today?
I think it's one of those things that for me in my journey, because I grew up in foster care, so it was learning to accept supports. And so my foster mum was my biggest support in my life growing up and giving me a sense of trust and love and like belief, which I didn't have as a child. So it was one of those things that I would have to give the most credit to her. And then also the amazing people I've had in my journey, like my cultural mentors, my friends, my partner, and everyone that's really made a difference in believing in me, especially through being when I was a teenager as well as the biggest thing to get me through those life hurdles.
Cool, thanks. And can you recall maybe a tough time and what was your process and steps to sort of get back on top of things?
I think we all go through a lot of tough times in life. It's one of those things that come and go. For me, I experienced post-traumatic stress disorder. I still do. It's something that I still have to work through on a daily basis. Even being proud and strong, I still have my days where it's harder than others. And so my biggest thing and my biggest suggestion to you guys is letting go of your pride and actually accepting help, because it's so easy to be in a space where we don't want to accept help because it might be lack of trust or fear of being vulnerable. But when you let go of those things, that's what will actually help you heal and get through those tough times even a lot quicker.
Yeah.
Sis, I think you make a good point there, like in terms of the letting go of the pride and sort of opening ourselves up, particularly as First Nations people. I think it's probably two ends of the scale. Hey, like we're either too proud or we're too shame.
Yeah.
Like there's no happy medium. So I think that's really important. Like it's a really good point that you make in terms of, really letting go of your pride, of our pride in ourselves. But what, in talking about that and leading on into the culture side of things, how do you reckon your culture and your cultural learning and journey has played a role into what you do now?
Yeah. I think the biggest thing is within my journey, and even when I yarn to people all the time, is that I trust in the journey and the path that my ancestors have me on. So I do a lot of grounding as well with just knowing that everything does happen for a reason, that there is a bigger picture, and taking that time to like get out bush or on the land and actually breathe in the fact that there is more to who we are, that there's more to what's around us, and connecting to Mother Earth as well. And I think that helps with that letting go part, because I know it was even recently I went through a spurt of my mental health was quite poor and I was burning out. And I think the biggest thing was my partner turned around and actually faced me and said, "Hey, you're going through depression at the moment." And I was like, I can't be. Like, I've got all these amazing things going on. I just got awarded the 7 Years Young Achievers Award. I've got my business, all these amazing things that even I was in denial of the fact that we still go through this. Like, I thought I'd done a lot of healing, but it was letting go to go, actually, I am burning out. I need to step back, take a breather, and acknowledge and put those supports back into place, because we lose track at times, even the best of us.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, again, it's a kind of a flow-on effect of the stuff that you've just spoken about into finding an escape and finding a vent. So, like, I know from what you've said and your story and journey, you're quite a busy person. Other than getting out onto country and sort of reconnecting, are there any other things that you do to vent or escape from the world and the chaos to recharge your batteries?
Yeah, so my main thing is my friends. Like, I will call my friends and trust in the space that they're just going to listen. And I used to be a dance teacher as well. So sometimes I'll just dance around and make fun of myself and laugh at myself in the house.
Yeah.
And art is another thing. So with graphic design, I try to not just focus on business, but give some time to my own creative stuff as well. And then I think the other main thing is probably music. I listen to, when I am feeling really stressed, I listen to more calming tunes such as like Gurumul and just alpha beats as well. So just some music that's going to just calm me down and focus on a little bit of even sometimes doing meditation or listening to sleep stories. Like, I know that they just released some sleep stories on Dreamy through Common Ground, just released some sleep stories of Aboriginal storytellers as well. So that's been my newest go-to at the moment as well. But that's the thing, like at the end of the day, there's so many things. You've just got to keep trying different things to find what works. Something that worked for me a year ago might not work now. So I'm even learning to do new things all the time. And whatever the emotions are or whatever I'm feeling and going through each time, whatever it is different. The way that I have to, what strategies I put in place to counteract that is always different as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think a point I want to just highlight, in what you've just shared is that idea of a progressive mindset. So like you say, what doesn't work for you previously or a year ago or 6 months ago may not work now, but it's about progressing and trying different things. So I think that's an awesome point to make. Now, sis, you're very successful, and no doubt more success is coming your way. But for those particularly young people out there that are in a really tough space at the moment, would there be any piece of advice that you would give to them to overcome that?
Yeah. I think my biggest thing is treating each day as a new day, no matter how good or bad the day was before. So as soon as you wake up on the next day, that you could have had the best day of your life the day before, but not thinking that has to be every day, accepting that every day will bring its own challenges, good or bad. And then letting that go for the next day as well, because sometimes we get so caught up in not being able to see the future or know the future that we can spiral in that as well. And as we know, even with this pandemic and everything going on, like, it's tough right now. It's hard. A lot of us are feeling alone, isolated. We're struggling mentally as well. That you've just got to keep moving forward and bouncing back, being resilient through it as well. And that's the thing, like our mob, we are the strongest living culture. We have the strongest people. We have the strongest network and connections, that we know how to bounce back. We know how to be resilient. So we just got to keep doing it. And I think the other thing that's really helped me is knowing that it's okay not to be okay. Like, I know that a lot of people say that all the time, but it's honestly the biggest truth, because as I said before, like, even I was trying to push away when I was having a tough time because I didn't want to not be okay, but it was accepting that I wasn't okay that actually helped me within 2 weeks be able to turn that around and making sure I was connected to a counselor, bouncing off people again, trying to bring space in my life where I was laughing at myself again. And then I guess my third piece of advice is knowing and accepting that you are not in control of what adults are doing in your life, or circumstances of what other people are doing in your life, but you are in control of yourself. How you think, how you feel, how you be, how you react, that's on you. And so it's taking charge of that. And I think that was the hardest and biggest thing I had to do as a teenager, was realizing that my past doesn't define me, that we're not defined by other people, that we can create our own future. Like, I never ever imagined when I was younger that I'll be a business owner at 23. Like, that's not something that I saw coming. I worked with youth for the last 7 years on the ground, and it's been the most empowering thing for me. But I can tell you now, working with young people is what shifted like who I was as well. It was a big part of me, because I learned just as much from them by trying to be a part of guiding and supporting them, that it actually guided and supported me the most, because they taught me and reminded me what resilience was every single day as well.
Yeah, wow, great advice.
All right. So yeah, obviously, we've sort of kept up a little bit with what you've been up to and stuff, which was some amazing stuff in that space, and you're pretty inspirational to a lot of people. So thanks for joining us today for a little bit of a yarn, and we might finish up there.
Yeah, thanks.
Too easy. Good. Thanks, everyone.